Okay, guys. Last week we started talking about numbers and number conversions and stuff like that, and how to convert, time and money and numerals and converting, written out numbers, and when you should use it and stuff like that. So we're going to continue. This is, hang on just a second. Okay. This is where we left off last week, and we'll pick up from here. But, does anybody have any questions about numbers? Anything? Okay. Now we're going to talk about numbers overview.
With Eclipse, 2 basic steps will give you excellent number translation. Fine-tune your dictionary, and fine-tune your number settings. Pure number bar strokes aren't even necessary in your dictionary. Other numbers building blocks will be defined as words, not digits. 100, 1,000, million describe orders of magnitude. Write the word dollars when you hear it, not before, and it, like other money words, will trigger number conversion with the appropriate currency symbol. If a number doesn't translate right, it's probably because of an old dictionary entry. Remove such entries and your building blocks will work properly. A separate presentation deals with finding and moving entries in and out of your dictionary. Occasionally, you'll want to convert numbers after translation. Mark the number first, then click on the toolbar icon, or use the menu or the speed key, Control and the pound key together. Here you see your number as it starts out, and as it would look depending on which format you choose. However, your numbers settings will control, and so the gear icon takes you quickly to adjust those settings. Within these short presentations, it's not possible to show all that Eclipse automatic number conversion can do. So a separate in-depth ePower video tutorial is available on automatic number conversion.
Okay. Everybody understand that? I'm going to kind of go back and play it again, and I'm going to kind of go over the finer points of it or whatever, but
with Eclipse, 2 basic steps will give you excellent number translation. Fine-tune your dictionary, and fine-tune your number settings.
You understand what it's telling you right there, right? If something's not coming up, it's because, one, it's in your dictionary wrong, or you probably haven't defined it yet. If you have a really new dictionary, you may not have defined it yet. But if it's coming up, then more than likely it has been defined. So you may want to go into your dictionary and just make sure that it's correct, okay? And then in your user settings, and that's where, you're going to either pick ordinals, money, quantity, stuff like that, okay?
Pure number bar strokes aren't even necessary in your dictionary. Other numbers building blocks will be defined as words, not digits. 100, 1,000...
You understand what it's saying there? So on every number, it's going to be a word, okay? Regardless of whether you hit the number bar or not. The dictionary entry that you need to put is going to be in words, and then it's going to know to convert it, okay? It already knows to convert it.
Million describe orders of magnitude. Write the word dollars when you hear it, not before, and it, like other money words, will trigger number conversion with the appropriate currency symbol.
See, where before, we had to do it where you hit dollars first, then it knew to turn it into money. Now you don't have to do that anymore. Now you just hear it, you write it whenever you hear it, and it knows to convert it if you put it correctly into your dictionary, okay?
If a number doesn't translate right, it's probably because of an old dictionary entry. Remove such entries and your building blocks will work properly.
You see what it's telling you? Okay? So this should be 25,000, not 25,000 the way that it's written out right there. So $25,000 does not need to be written like that. It needs to be written separate. 25,000 THOUSANDS and then dollars, okay? And then that converts it to the money.
A separate presentation deals with
See how they defined $1,000? See how they did it? It's not the number symbol, blah, blah, blah. It's $1,000, and it knows to convert it, okay? So when it comes with a number, it's gonna know to convert it, okay?
finding and moving entries in and out of your dictionary. Occasionally, you'll want to convert numbers after translation. Mark the number first, then click on the toolbar icon, or use the menu or the speed key, Control and the pound key together.
And that was exactly what one of the students was bringing up earlier that she tried to mess with during the week and was doing Control 3 and was moving her cursor all over the place or whatever. You have to remember exactly the command, guys, because if not, it's going to do something completely different. So Control Shift 3 is the one that takes you into the number conversions, okay?
Here you see your number as it starts out, and as it would look depending on which format you choose.
And you see what they're doing here? It is just changing it, and then you can do it to whatever you want. If you want it in quantity, money, ordinals, Roman numeral, generic, whatever. You know, and all you have to do is just press on one of these things, and it'll change it to whatever you want. And the output is going to be whatever it's going to go to. You press OK, and then it changes it. Okay? Pretty easy stuff. Pretty good too.
However, your numbers settings will control, and so the gear icon takes you quickly to adjust those settings. Within the short present.
Okay. Any questions on any of that stuff right there? I'm sorry?
I said, after you explain it makes sense.
Yeah. So it, you know, I mess with it, you know, a little bit or whatever. And this way, I mean, that's how you're going to learn the fastest is by messing with it, you know, because if you're doing it in a job and, you know, just like you did, I mean, you know, you did Control 3 and it's sending your cursor all over the place, that's not the time you want to learn how to do it, you know. It's when you're typing up a test or, you know, something like that. You want to mess with it, kind of know what you're doing so that when you're doing your test, you're not spending more time trying to fix stuff that you messed up because you hit a wrong command, okay? So that's why, you know, when I tell you guys to mess with it, that's what I'm talking about, okay? All right. Okay, and the first letter of each menu item is going to be the hotkey. Remember our stylistic conflicts like, you know, number, stuff like that, quantity, money, ordinal, Roman. So, you know, this is all of the ones that you're going to need, okay? Okay, so say you have, you know, somebody came in and they're doing a zip code, and that's the example that they're giving you right here. To convert one O, you know, if you heard O, when you pushed O instead of the 0, 0250, then into a zip code, then all you do is hit the hyperkey M to mark it, and then it mark the whole number, and then press the Control Shift 3. That takes you in there, hit Z, or the control number.
Yeah, the control number sign. That really wants you to do the Control Shift.
I'm sorry?
Because that's what I was trying to do there, when it would just do the control number, and after I marked it, and that's when it moved it.
So you were having to hit the Control Shift? Yeah. It's Control Shift 3, and then press the Z for zip code, and then it changes it to a zip code. Okay? or you can change it to money. It's not really going to change it to a phone number because you don't have enough numbers there or whatever. So
what does generic output mean?
generic output.
Yeah, it says money, a quantity, money, or no Roman generic.
Yeah, just a regular number. Generic number.
Okay.
Okay, four of the most commonly used number conversions have been and are also available as hyperkeys, okay? So they're all uppercase letters. The lowercase letters perform functions that are needed more often. So the M is mark, you know, stuff like that, but when you do Shift M, then that changes it to money, okay? Dollars and cents. Hyperkey N is for numerals, capital N, so it's Shift N, okay? It's not N because N is insert, you know, when you want to insert text. T is for time. I mean, Shift T and Shift W is for written out numbers. So, also, you know, and they're going to talk about it right here, you know, what about AutoMagic? You know, and when your cursor is on a number, AutoMagic is going to offer the most likely number conversions most of the time. So it's going to give you time, Roman numeral, money, stuff like that. And they're going to show you in this visualizer right now.
Let's see some of the choices that AutoMagic offers relating to numbers. As soon as I place my cursor on 3, AutoMagic offers me several number conversion choices, turning this to a digit, to a money number, to time, to a Roman numeral, and in case these are not enough, choice 5 opens the number conversion dialog, so I have all of my number conversion choices at my fingertips. In this case, no change is necessary. However, when I place my cursor on the word car, the number 1 choice is to turn this into the expression 3 car with a hyphen. In this case, 2:30 really meant time. I can place my cursor either on 2 or 30. Either way, AutoMagic will detect the full number and give me the appropriate number conversion choices. In this example, pressing 4 would turn this to a time number, and there was no need to mark the full extent of the number before AutoMagic offered its choices. In this next example, 3rd refers to a date, and so the number 1 choice is to convert this to a digit with the ordinal suffix. And this yes that follows is the start of a paragraph. If I press 3, that will now make it easy for me to say, this is an answer. Most of the time, Eclipse Automatic Number Conversion formats numbers properly as you write. But sometimes context may be unclear. For those times where you need to change the format of a number, AutoMagic makes it possible to do so with a very minimum of steps.
Pretty simple stuff. Any questions about any of that stuff? AutoMagic is really going to help you a lot. So, I mean, you really don't have to do a whole lot of stuff, even on dates and stuff. And the way that I separate it is with a comma. You know, if he's talking about a date and it's 10/21/14, I do 10, 21/14, and that knows when there's 3 numbers together that it knows to put it as 10/21/14. Okay? So it all depends on how you define it or how you do it. You know, you can do /10/14/21/14. You know, however you want to do it, you know, and define it as that. So however you want to do it is fine. Any questions about what we just saw about the magic keys?
Magic keys are really helpful.
Oh, it's super helpful. And, you know, like I said, the more that you use the software itself, the more that it's going to help you, the more that it's going to understand what you're doing, how you write, what you're trying to do most of the time. And if you've changed it once, more than likely you're going to do it again. So it already knows kind of what you did the first time. So, you know, one of the suggestions is going to be what you changed it to the last time. So it's really helpful. Any questions about that? All right. Okay, just remember that AutoMagic and HyperKeys can be used together, so you can pick a choice off the AutoMagic list, or you can use the HyperKey command that you learned. And that's with the money, time, you know, whatever. So it's the Shift M, Shift T, you know, all of that stuff, okay?
Hotkeys, pop-ups, and fonts are a few AutoMagic display options that are found in the View Toggles dialog. Let's see. At the right toggles dialog. Let's see. At the right edge of the info bar, AutoMagic can show the speed keys or hyper keys that are available as keyboard shortcuts. This can help new users to learn the keyboard shortcuts for editing efficiency, but more experienced users may want to hide them. This can be done by going to the View Toggles dialog and unchecking the box that appears next to hotkeys.
Do you understand what it's saying there? Y'all know what the hotkeys are? It's the short commands that are used to do the same command that you want to do. So, you know, like right here, you know,
this can be,
you know, when they're talking about shifting the words, and it should be the farming, not farming the, you can either push number 1 or you can push Shift R. Shift R is going to reverse the words, and it's going to keep reversing them, you know, as you do it, okay? So global is G, type text is N. So these are the hotkeys. These are the shorthand, shortcut keys, okay? Which is good. It's good to have it there, you know? But if you don't want to take up that much room, you think you know it all, you can take them off of there, okay? And this is how you do it. It's view toggles, which is Control Shift F3. And then that takes you into the settings.
Done by going to the View Toggles dialog and unchecking the box that appears next to hotkeys.
And that's how you take it off. It's just taking it off. You know, you see how it's checked right there. It's giving you the hotkeys. If you don't want them on there, then just, you know, unclick it, and then it'll take them off.
Your AutoMagic choices can also be displayed in a small pop-up window that can appear after a short delay. The delay is expressed in milliseconds, and the default setting is ½ a second. So as I move my cursor, the choices...
You see what it's doing right there?
The choices offer...
You can set it up to where this little thing comes above the cursor. So as you're following along, instead of having to look over here to the left, it's going to give you the shortcuts right here above it. I use it. It's awesome. It's good. But, I mean, if you don't, you know, if you want to take your eyes off the thing or whatever, I like keeping my eyes on the text. Personally. It works for me. It's great. This way I pick the command that's there. I just keep going. I keep my hands on the keyboard and just keep moving. But, I mean, you know, either way is fine. You know, however you want to do it is fine. I just found that it's a little bit easier for me to do that.
By AutoMagic are brought closer to where I'm looking. In fact, you can hide the info bar entirely and still see your AutoMagic choices only in a pop-up. To do this, go to the View Toggles dialog and uncheck the box next to Info Bar, but...
You see what it's saying? So if you want to do it, uncheck Info Bar.
Leave the choices next to AutoMagic and Pop-Up checked. That frees up some space on the screen without depriving you of your AutoMagic choices.
You see what it's saying? If that's how you want to do it, that's how you do it. But you have to leave, you know, the AutoMagic and the pop-up still checked.
To Info Bar, but
it's just the info bar that you uncheck. AutoMagic, pop-up are still going to stay checked. Okay?
But leave the choices next to AutoMagic and Pop-Up Checked. That frees up some space on the screen without depriving you of your AutoMagic choices. Don't forget that you can adjust the font that's used to display your AutoMagic choices. For instance, you could use a smaller font that's narrow and bold. The AutoMagic choices would still be very readable, but now the info bar would not need to be as wide. So you could use the mouse to hover over the right edge of the info bar, then hold down the left mouse button while you drag to the left. That could free up some display space for other elements on your screen.
You see what it's saying? You see what it's doing? You know, so if you want more of this area, you want it bigger, all you have to do is drag that screen. And you put it on, you put your cursor here, and then it's going to give you kind of the straight line. It almost looks like a, I guess like a barbell. Let's see if it'll do it again.
Hotkeys readable, but now the info bar would not need to be as wide. So you could use the mouse to hover over the right edge of the info bar, then hold down the...
See how it, when you get that little thing, that means that it's on there. Then you hold down, you left click it, move it over, and then you can move it over as far as you want. You don't want it coming all the way into where it's messing up all the other stuff over here, but I mean you can space it a little bit closer to where it gives you a little bit more space. Okay?
Left mouse button while you drag to the left. That could free up some display space for other elements on your screen.
Any questions about that? Okay, there's a little exercise right here where you can convert stuff, and I would suggest kind of going through it. So if you want to mess with time or whatever, you just do the hyper key T, which is Shift T, and it automatically switches it to time. You see what it did? Okay, so you go to the next one. You want to switch it to T, or you want to switch it to money. You see what it did? Really, it was supposed to change it to time, but instead I switched it to money, just to kind of give you a different view of kind of what it was doing. Hey, how you doing?
Okay.
So that's kind of how you do it. If, you want to change it to zip. I don't know if it'll do it. No, it won't. What you're going to have to do is go through and mark it. Then do the Shift Z. I don't know why it didn't do it there. It's really supposed to do it, with the hyper key, Z. Oh, I see what it's doing. On zip code, you have to do it like that. You have to do the Control Shift 3. This is for like money, numerals, time, and
Isn't the Shift Z the movement hoops?
Shift D, yeah. Yeah, so it almost, it takes back what you were doing. So that's why you have to do Control Shift 3. Then that takes you into the number conversion, and then the number conversion you convert it there into zip. Y'all see what it did there? Did y'all see what it did right there? Okay. So you're in hyperkeys right there. You press M to mark, 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 mark. Then you're going to do Shift M because you want to change it to money. So Shift M, and then it changes it to the money. So it already knows to change it, okay? Helpful, 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 okay? Now a lot of times, like I told you guys, over here in the Auto Magic keys, if it has the dollars and cents, even if it's just a number, it could be $43.06. It's gonna give you the option of changing it to money. That's going to be one of the options, is changing it to money. Maybe you want to change it to time. It'll give you time. It'll give you just numerals. If you want to do it in numerals, if you want to do it in Roman numerals, ordinal, any of that stuff. Okay? So, I mean, the hyper keys are, the Auto Magic keys are truly helpful. Okay? So a lot of times all you have to do is just look here, and then it'll change it automatically. So all you have to do is press 1 instead of having to mark, 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 Shift M, whatever. You just push number 3, and then it changes it to money or whatever. Okay? Any questions about this? See, I marked a number and then push Shift in, and it's going to give you what do you want to convert it to. So if it's not quite sure what you want to do, then it'll give you options of, do you want to do quantity, generic, superscript, Roman numeral, Social Security, which it really can't be a Social Security because it's only two numbers. So, but it asks you what you want to do, telephone number, any of that stuff. So it's pretty helpful, guys. Any questions about that?
No.
Okay. Go through there. Go through these things, guys. Like you don't have to do a transcript or whatever. I would suggest you do a transcript or not a transcript, but do something that you're practicing on. The stuff that you're practicing on, and mess with it then. So make sure you do something that has some numbers in it or whatever. You can go on the wiki, and there's dictation of numbers and stuff like that. So, you can mess with it in there, But if not, then you come back in the exercise and mess with it in here. And if for some reason you think that it messed it up, or it's like, oh man, I can't get it to come back, and I want it to come back, all you have to do is go to the help, lessons, install lessons, install the lesson again, and then it's back there again. So it's no big deal. You're not going to lose anything. Okay? Any questions about that? No? Okay, and then it just kind of gives you the answers down here of what it should have been, what they were trying to do. Okay. What they're trying to do right here is the guy's asking to give him his Social Security number. But you can change it to like a telephone number, anything like that. You mark it, you do the Control Shift 3, brings it up. You know, they were asking for, what were they asking? They were asking for
Put the social security number
Yeah.
there.
Click on Social Security number, do OK, gives it to you. It's not really right because there's too many numbers, okay? So what he was trying to do was he was trying to do a phone number, okay? So you go Control Shift 3, come back here, phone number, okay? Then it puts it in a phone number, okay? So whatever you want to do, it's just that simple. It converts it to whatever you want. The Control Shift 3 is the conversion, you know? But, you know, if you want to do the speed, it's money, is M, is Shift M, Shift T is time. Okay? Any questions about that? No? All right. Okay, I'm going to shut off.